February 22, 2006. America. On this day in a small town that might seem unremarkable at first glance, something extraordinary was brewing. This town, nestled in the heart of America, was a living, breathing mosaic of cultures and beliefs, a place where the American dream of unity and diversity was not just an ideal but a daily reality. A small town bustled with life, its streets a vibrant tapestry of cultures and faiths. The market square was alive with the sounds of different languages, the smells of various cuisines, and the sights of colorful attire from around the world. Here, you could find a vendor selling traditional Mexican crafts next to a stall offering Middle Eastern spices, while a group of children played a game of soccer nearby, their laughter echoing through the streets. Churches stood tall beside synagogues and mosques, each a testament to the town's spirit of acceptance and understanding. The skyline was a beautiful blend of steeples, minarets, and domes, each structure telling a story of faith and community. These buildings were not just places of worship, they were symbols of the town's commitment to coexistence and mutual respect. People from all walks of life coexisted harmoniously, their differences celebrated as strengths. In the park, families of different backgrounds gathered for picnics, sharing food and stories. Children of various ethnicities played together, their friendships forming bridges between cultures. The town's annual multicultural festival was a highlight, where music, dance, and food from around the world were shared and enjoyed by all. The air buzzed with the energy of a community united by shared values of compassion and respect. Community events were frequent, from charity drives to cultural celebrations, each one reinforcing the bonds that held the town together. Volunteers from different faiths worked side by side, their efforts a testament to the power of collective goodwill. This town, a microcosm of the American melting pot, was a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of unity and diversity. It was a place where differences were not just tolerated but embraced, where every individual was valued for their unique contributions to the community. The town's diversity was its strength, a source of pride and inspiration for all who lived there. It was here, in this haven of tolerance, that an extraordinary event unfolded, an event that would forever alter the town's spiritual landscape and touch the lives of its inhabitants in profound ways. This event was not marked by grand gestures or dramatic changes, but by the quiet, powerful moments of connection and understanding that rippled through the community. The story began not with a grand spectacle, but with a simple act of friendship and a shared thirst for knowledge. Two friends, one from a Christian background and the other from a Muslim family, met at the local library. They bonded over their love of books and their curiosity about each other's cultures. This small act of reaching out, of seeking to understand rather than judge, set off a chain reaction of goodwill and cooperation that would resonate throughout the town. As word of their friendship spread, others were inspired to follow their example. Interfaith dialogues were organized, bringing together people from different religious backgrounds to share their beliefs and learn from one another. Town hall meetings became forums for discussing not just local issues, but also the broader themes of tolerance and unity. Community projects flourished, with people of all faiths working together to improve their town. The impact of these efforts was felt most strongly among the town's children. They grew up in an environment where diversity was the norm, where friendships crossed cultural and religious lines. Elderly residents shared their stories and wisdom, passing down lessons of acceptance and understanding to the younger generations. The community garden became a symbol of their collective efforts, a place where people of all backgrounds came together to nurture and grow something beautiful. The town's journey was celebrated in many ways. Festivals featured performances from different cultures, showcasing the rich tapestry of traditions that made up the community. Shared meals became a common sight, with long tables set up in the town square where everyone was welcome. A mural was painted on the side of a building, depicting scenes of unity and diversity, a lasting reminder of the town's commitment to these values. As the sun set over the town, there was a sense of peace and contentment. The journey was far from over, but the town had taken significant steps towards building a community where everyone felt valued and included. It was a place where the spirit of acceptance and understanding thrived, a true testament to the power of unity and diversity. Yousef, a young man with a heart filled with faith, had dedicated his life to understanding and sharing the teachings of Islam. From a very young age he was drawn to the spiritual and intellectual richness of his faith. His parents, devout and wise, nurtured his curiosity and encouraged him to seek knowledge, both religious and secular. They believed that a well-rounded education was the key to a fulfilling life. He spent countless hours poring over ancient texts, immersing himself in the wisdom of the Quran. Yousef's days were filled with study and reflection. He would often be found in the quiet corners of the mosque, surrounded by books and manuscripts, his eyes scanning the delicate calligraphy of centuries-old texts. The Quran, with its profound verses and timeless wisdom, was his constant companion. He sought to understand not just the words, but the deeper meanings and context behind them. His pursuit of knowledge was not merely academic, it was a deeply personal journey, a quest to embody the values of compassion, humility, and peace that lay at the heart of his faith. Yousef believed that true understanding came from living the principles he studied. He spent time in nature, contemplating the beauty of creation and the signs of the divine in the world around him. These moments of reflection were as important to him as his hours of study. Yousef's understanding of Islam ran deep, encompassing not just the rituals and practices, but also the profound spiritual truths that resonated within him. He participated in the daily prayers with a sense of devotion and focus that inspired those around him. His prayers were not just a routine, but a heartfelt conversation with the divine. He also engaged in fasting, charity, and other acts of worship, always seeking to purify his soul and strengthen his connection with God. He believed in the power of dialogue and understanding, recognizing that true faith stemmed from an open heart and a willingness to embrace the common humanity that bound people together, regardless of their differences. Yousef often participated in interfaith dialogues where he shared his insights and listened to the perspectives of others. He believed that by understanding different beliefs and cultures, people could find common ground and work together for a better world. His journey was not just about personal growth, but also about building bridges and fostering a sense of community and mutual respect. One sunny afternoon, while walking through the park, Yousef encountered Thomas, a devout Christian deeply rooted in his own faith. The park was bustling with life, children playing, families picnicking, and the sun casting a warm glow over everything. It was in this serene setting that their paths crossed, seemingly by chance but perhaps guided by something greater. Their initial conversations were marked by a shared curiosity about each other's beliefs. They would meet regularly, often finding a quiet bench where they could talk without interruption. Their discussions ranged from the mundane to the profound, touching on topics like the nature of God, the purpose of life, and the importance of community. Thomas, intrigued by Yousef's gentle demeanor and insightful perspectives on life, found himself drawn into conversations that challenged his preconceived notions about Islam. He had always thought of Islam as a religion vastly different from his own, but Yousef's explanations revealed surprising similarities and shared values. Yousef, with his patient explanations and genuine desire to foster understanding, dispelled many of the misconceptions that Thomas had held. He spoke of the 5 pillars of Islam, the importance of charity, and the deep sense of community that his faith fostered. Thomas listened, sometimes skeptically, but always with an open heart. Their friendship, born out of mutual respect and a shared love for their respective faiths, blossomed into a testament to the power of dialogue in bridging divides. They began to see each other not just as representatives of their religions, but as individuals with unique experiences and insights. Their conversations became a source of joy and learning for both. They discovered common ground in their shared values of love, compassion, and service to others, recognizing that their faiths, while different in their expressions, ultimately led them down similar paths of spiritual growth. They started to attend each other's religious gatherings, with Thomas visiting the mosque and Yousef attending church services. These experiences deepened their understanding and respect for each other's traditions. Through these shared experiences, they realized that their friendship was not just about understanding each other's faiths, but also about celebrating their differences and finding unity in diversity. They organized interfaith dialogues in their community, inviting others to join in their journey of mutual respect and understanding. Their efforts bore fruit as more people began to participate, breaking down barriers and building bridges of understanding. Yousef and Thomas became known as ambassadors of peace and dialogue, their friendship serving as a beacon of hope in a world often divided by religious and cultural differences. In the end, their unlikely friendship showed that when we take the time to listen and understand, we can find common ground even in the most unexpected places. Their story is a reminder that our differences can be a source of strength, and that through dialogue and mutual respect we can build a more compassionate and united world. One Sunday morning, Thomas invited Yousef to attend church with him. It was a simple invitation, yet it carried profound implications. For Yousef, it was a step into unfamiliar territory, a chance to experience firsthand the religious practices of his friend. A wave of hesitation washed over him as they approached the church doors, the enormity of the situation dawning upon him. Taking a deep breath, Yousef reminded himself of the Islamic teachings on respecting other faiths. He thought of the verses in the Quran that spoke of the common origin of all religions, of the importance of engaging in dialogue with kindness and understanding. With a renewed sense of purpose, Yousef stepped across the threshold.
In a world often shrouded in darkness, where the light of understanding and compassion seems dim, a young man named Amir emerged as a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience and unity. With unwavering faith and a heart full of sincerity, he embarked on a journey to illuminate the world with truth and kindness. His mission was not just a personal quest, but a call to action for everyone around him. Amir's story is a testament to the transformative power of courage and conviction. His actions and words inspired many to look beyond their prejudices and embrace a more inclusive worldview. It reminds us that even amidst adversity, one person can make a difference. Amir's journey shows that the strength of one individual, when fueled by a genuine desire to bring about change, can ripple through communities and beyond. Amir's journey began in his own community, a place rich in diversity but also fraught with challenges, where misunderstandings and prejudices cast long shadows. He witnessed firsthand the pain and division that ignorance and fear could sow among people. He saw how fear and ignorance created divisions between people of different faiths. These divisions were not just abstract concepts, but real barriers that affected everyday interactions and relationships. Determined to bridge these divides, Amir resolved to use his voice to promote understanding and respect. He believed that dialogue and education were the keys to breaking down the walls of prejudice. He believed that by sharing his own experiences and perspectives, he could help others see the common humanity that binds us all. Through storytelling and open conversations, Amir aimed to foster a sense of unity and mutual respect, showing that despite our differences, we are all part of the same human family. Amir understood that truth spoken with sincerity had the power to break down barriers. He knew that honesty and openness were essential for building trust and fostering meaningful connections. When faced with skepticism or opposition, Amir remained steadfast in his commitment to truth. He refused to compromise his values or shy away from difficult conversations. He believed that by engaging in respectful dialogue, even with those who held different views, he could help to dispel misconceptions and promote greater understanding. Amir's unwavering commitment to truth was not about winning arguments or proving himself right. It was about creating a space where people could come together, share their perspectives, and learn from one another. Despite his young age, Amir possessed a wisdom that belied his years. He had studied his faith diligently, delving into its teachings with a thirst for knowledge and understanding. But Amir's wisdom extended beyond religious texts. He had also immersed himself in the writings of philosophers, poets, and thinkers from various cultures and traditions. This breadth of knowledge had given him a unique perspective on the world and the human condition. Amir's wisdom was evident in his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. He listened attentively to their stories, seeking to understand their perspectives and find common ground. His words were measured and thoughtful, reflecting a depth of understanding that resonated with those around him. Amir believed that interfaith dialogue was not merely an option but a necessity in an increasingly interconnected world. He understood that different religions, while distinct in their beliefs and practices, often shared common values such as love, compassion, and justice. Amir saw these shared values as a foundation upon which bridges of understanding could be built. He organized interfaith events, bringing together people from various backgrounds to engage in meaningful conversations. These events provided a safe and welcoming space for individuals to share their beliefs, ask questions, and learn from one another. Amir's efforts helped to break down stereotypes and foster a spirit of unity and cooperation among people of different faiths. Section 5. The Pastor's Challenge. One evening at an interfaith gathering, Amir encountered an unexpected challenge. A pastor known for his conservative views and skepticism towards other religions stood up to question Amir's beliefs. The pastor, a man named Reverend Thompson, had come to the event with a heart full of doubt and a mind set on proving Amir wrong. Reverend Thompson, with a booming voice and a stern demeanor, challenged Amir's faith, questioning its validity and relevance in the modern world. The room fell silent as everyone turned their attention to the unfolding exchange. Some feared a heated argument, but Amir, with his characteristic calmness and composure, stood his ground. Section 6, from opponents to allies. Instead of responding with anger or defensiveness, Amir listened patiently to the pastor's concerns. He understood that building bridges required more than just words. It required a genuine willingness to listen and understand the other person's perspective. Amir's calm demeanor and attentive listening set the tone for a respectful dialogue. He acknowledged the pastor's right to his beliefs and responded to his questions with respect and sincerity. Amir knew that respect was a two-way street, and by showing it, he hoped to receive it in return. His responses were thoughtful and measured, aimed at fostering understanding rather than winning an argument. Amir shared his own personal journey of faith, highlighting the transformative power it had had in his life. He spoke of the challenges he had faced and how his faith had guided him through difficult times. His story was not just about religion, but about resilience, hope, and the human spirit's capacity for growth and change. He spoke of the importance of love, compassion, and forgiveness, values that transcended religious boundaries. Amir emphasized that these values were not exclusive to any one faith, but were universal principles that could unite people from all walks of life. He believed that by focusing on these shared values, they could find common ground and build a foundation for mutual respect and understanding. To everyone's surprise, as the evening progressed, a remarkable transformation began to take place in Reverend Thompson. The pastor, who had initially been skeptical and guarded, started to open up. He listened more intently. His questions became more genuine and his demeanor softened. It was clear that Amir's sincerity was having a profound impact on him. Touched by Amir's sincerity and the genuine love he had for his faith, the pastor's heart softened. Reverend Thompson began to see Amir not as an opponent, but as a fellow human being with a deep and abiding faith. This shift in perspective allowed for a more meaningful and heartfelt conversation between the two. He began to see beyond their differences and recognize the common ground they shared. They both valued family, community, and the pursuit of a meaningful life. These shared values became the foundation for their newfound understanding and respect for one another. By the end of the evening, Reverend Thompson, visibly moved, approached Amir and offered his hand in friendship. This gesture was more than just a handshake. It was a symbol of reconciliation and the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship. It showed that through patience, respect, and genuine dialogue, even the deepest divides could be bridged. Section 7, Embracing Truth Together. The encounter between Amir and Reverend Thompson became a powerful example of how dialogue grounded in truth and sincerity could bridge even the widest of divides. Their meeting was not just a simple conversation, it was a profound exchange of ideas, beliefs, and values. They both came from different worlds, yet they found common ground in their shared humanity. This moment was a testament to the power of open-hearted communication and the willingness to understand one another. It demonstrated that true understanding and respect could emerge from even the most unlikely of encounters. When people take the time to listen and empathize, barriers that once seemed insurmountable can be broken down. Amir and Reverend Thompson's story showed that it is possible to find unity in diversity, and that our differences can actually enrich our lives rather than divide us. The story of their transformation spread throughout the community, inspiring others to approach interfaith dialogue with an open mind and a willingness to listen. It wasn't just about Amir and Reverend Thompson anymore. It became a movement. People from all walks of life started to engage in meaningful conversations, breaking down stereotypes and building bridges of understanding. The community began to thrive on this newfound spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. Amir's courage and compassion had not only touched the heart of a skeptic, but had also ignited a spark of hope in the hearts of many. his actions showed that one person could make a significant difference. By standing up for what he believed in and reaching out to others with kindness, Amir became a beacon of hope and a catalyst for change. His story encouraged others to step out of their comfort zones and engage with those who were different from them. People began to see that true faith was not about converting others or proving one's beliefs superior, but about living a life of love, service, and understanding. The community started to embrace the idea that faith could be a unifying force rather than a divisive one. They realized that by working together and supporting each other, they could create a more harmonious and compassionate world. This shift in perspective led to a stronger, more connected community where everyone felt valued and respected. Section 8. Living your faith. Amir's story is a call to action for all of us, regardless of our faith or beliefs. It reminds us that we all have a responsibility to be ambassadors of peace and understanding in our own communities. We can embody our faith not just through words but through our actions, by treating others with kindness, compassion, and respect, even when they hold different views. We can engage in meaningful dialogue, seeking to understand rather than to judge. We can stand up for what is right, even when it is difficult, knowing that our voices, united in truth and sincerity, have the power to create a more just and compassionate world. Section 9. A blessing and a hope. May we all be inspired by Amir's example to live our lives with courage, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to truth and sincerity. May we approach those who are different from us with open hearts and open minds, seeking to build bridges of understanding rather than walls of division. And may we always remember that the world is a better place when we choose love over hate, compassion over judgment, and unity over